You don't plant the seed and have the harvest on the same day, right? It takes time. Welcome, I'm your host, and you're listening to Elevate with Noe, your new favorite and go-to podcast. It's about time you tuned in. Come on this journey with me, and let's get it. Hi, ladies. So I'm so happy to have you with me. Can you believe this is actually my first real episode that gonna be uploaded on platforms such as Spotify and also YouTube. So if you're here watching me on YouTube, hi. And yeah, I'm so excited, but it's so scary, right? It's so scary to make that step and to have all your projects and thoughts and ideas projected out there for the world to see. Like, it's so out of my comfort zone. It's crazy. But we got to make an uncomfortable move in order for us to live the life we dreamed of. Because if you don't do it, nobody else will. And you don't want to be 5 years, 10 years from now and look at your life and to be thinking, oh my God, what have I done? Am I happy? Am I content with the life I've built for myself? If the answer is no, right now, you have to do something different in order for you to get different results. All right. But anyways, this is not a motivational speech or any of that. Actually, one thing I want to talk about today is networking. So I'm telling you, going to my first networking event, I was like, oh my God, like I'm so stressed, so nervous. What am I gonna say to these people? Seriously, like not trying to sound too awkward. How am I gonna introduce myself? How can I carry on the conversation? Do I let people come to me or do I have to approach them every single time? All those thoughts. So this is why I want to do a little series on networking tips and tricks, and hopefully these tips will help you out as you're networking, as you're going to different events. All right, but today we're gonna focus only on 3 tips. Okay, so I have my notes right here just to make sure that I'm following what I wanted to say. One thing I want to mention, the first tip actually, is to, before we get into that, what is networking? So I know we're making it so complex, but networking is basically just building a connection with one person. And when you're building that connection with that one person, that's called networking. This person becomes part of your circle. And as you connect with that one person, it expands your own circle because now you have access to that person's circle. You get what I mean? So basically, that's what networking is. But the thing is, we make it so complex. As an introverted person, this really scared me. I was like, how am I going to do this? I'm shy. I'm not someone who go randomly talk to people. I'm scared to mess things up. I'm worried that I'm going to sound awkward. There's all these worries in my mind. So this is why for me it was really scary to dive into networking. But the thing is, you're already doing it. Even if you think that you're not networking, you are. There's not one person who have not networked in their life. Why? Because it just starts from that one thing that we all do, which is what we're having, a conversation. Do you think that all this time that you've been on earth, you have not had one conversation with at least one human being? I highly doubt. And if you haven't, you're probably not living on earth. Okay? So I'm just saying, you have talked to someone for sure, okay? And this is what it is. It's basically having conversation. But as you're having conversation, you're grasping on that person. You're not letting go of them. It's not just having conversation and then you never meet them ever again. No, it's people that you can rely on, people that you have their contact now. You have access to their circle. They're inviting you to events. They're taking you to places. That's how you know that you have a strong network. But basically it can happen in many different ways. It doesn't have to be, oh, let me go Google this. Let me go on Eventbrite and go on a next networking event. No, you can literally go to a basketball game and network. You can go to a day party and network. You don't have to think that it has to be super complex, super difficult. Make it easier for you. And this is why I'm going to give you those 3 tips, okay? So the first thing is to focus on quality, not quantity. You heard that right. And I know sometimes you're going to go to an event, you're going to think to yourself, okay, let me really step out of my comfort zone and let me go into these events. I need to meet these people. Everyone keeps saying, you want to have a high net worth? You need to have a high network as well, because both goes hand in hand, which is an ultimate truth. But how do you get there? If you're someone like me who's super introverted, who's scared to talk to people, you have to remove yourself that pressure. Remove yourself the pressure to feel like, oh, whenever I'm going to this event, I need to meet every single person in that room. No, you need to stop having this type of mindset, because you probably be thinking, oh, the more people I'm meeting, the more I'm increasing my chance on meeting the right people that I need to elevate my life. Wrong. Why? Because first of all, you're not letting enough time to build a genuine connection with that person. And second of all, you're not giving enough time to make an impact and to be memorable. Because if people cannot even remember you, how are you going to build your network? It doesn't make sense. And you don't have enough time to talk with everyone in that room anyways. And not everyone is for you. And that's okay. You don't need to meet everyone. You just need to meet the right people. Let's say you're building connection with just 2 or 3 people. You had conversation with them. That's more than enough. You don't have to go to an event thinking, oh, I need to talk with like at least 10 people. No, go with this. I'm going to this event. Let me leave with at least 2 phone numbers. Why I'm saying at least is because you can be surprised. Sometimes you're approaching people, but others are approaching you as well. So that's why I'm saying at least. So when you're going to leave that event, you have met your 2 people, you already have reached your goal. Because these 2 people you just met, you had time to exchange with them. You are getting to know them. You're finding out what they do. You find out about their career, why they are attending this event. And by having the small talk going to transition into a deeper conversation, but you have to allow time for it to happen. You really do. And I'm speaking from also my own experience. Like I went to an event and there were so many people. I didn't even have the time to speak with the host of the event, to be honest. Didn't have the time. And I was already drained just being in a room with so many people. My mind was running crazy. But I only spoke with 2 or 3 people, and that was more than enough. I was less stressed because I was giving myself enough time to get to know them. And at the end, I felt so relaxed and less stressed because I didn't feel like, oh my God, I'm done with this conversation. I have to go to someone else and now having another conversation with a stranger, someone that I don't know. And do you know how much work it takes your brain to remember this information? Because these people, they are talking to you about personal things about their life too. They're talking about so many things. You have to remember their name too, what they do for a living, certain key points, key information that they share with you. Because when you don't remember, the next time you have an encounter with them, it's like they're going to think that you did not really pay attention. So this is why I'm telling you to remove that pressure from you. And me, just by talking with 2 to 3 people was more than enough. More than enough. And I was already very proud of myself from doing so. So give yourself small goals. You also want to be memorable. You want to make an impact, a positive one, and to be memorable in people's mind. You want to remember them and you want them to remember you. And you cannot do that by talking with too many people. Now, if we go on the second tip, I cannot deal with people who are going from one person to another and they introduce themselves, hey, my name is so-and-so, and they move on. Or they're nodding, but they're not really paying attention. This is terrible for you to build a genuine connection and to grow your network. You have to show genuine interest. I remember this book that I was reading. I think it's How to Make Friends. No, How to Influence People and Make Friends. By who? By Dale Carnegie, I think that's his name. If I have the book, I will put a picture up somewhere in the video if you're listening on YouTube. But yeah, this book, literally, I think it was one of the advice that he was giving to people. You have to give genuine interest if you want people to like you. And at first you might think, okay, why would I want people to like me like this? Like, I don't care about all of that stuff. Like, I just want to be myself. I'm not telling you to not be yourself. You have to. But in order for you to build a sustainable network, people have to like you. How are you going to build your circle if people don't like you? How are you going to do that? Would you like to have a circle of people who don't like you, who hate you? That doesn't make any sense, right? So this is why it's so important, and how you can show genuine interest. If you're someone who's shy, who doesn't like to talk too much, ask them open question and let them talk, okay? Let them talk. Because in the book that I mentioned, the more you let the person talk about themselves, the more they're gonna like you. People like to hear their name and to talk about them. You're giving them their space to shine, to be the star. So let them talk. If you're constantly asking yes or no question, like closed question, you're not gonna let the conversation grow. This is why I'm telling you to more focus on open question, but you can also ask yes or no question. It's just make sure you have a follow-up question that opens up the conversation, all right? Because you don't want just to have a flat no and that's it. Now you're gonna feel awkward and you're gonna be like, what do I need to say next? I don't want the conversation to end, but you asked the wrong question. So focus on open question, all right? And this also gonna let them know, hey, the person's really paying attention to what I'm saying. The person really wants to know more about me. So obviously the person already gonna start liking you more. By being more likable, you are growing your circle. You're gonna have those people gravitate around you because they cannot get enough of you, because they see, hey, that person really wants to hear about me, what I have to say, my story. This is so rare nowadays because people now, they just want to jump into opportunities on top of opportunities, and that's it. They don't care about the person no more. So by doing this, you're showing them something completely different, and people really like that, okay? And you can also compliment them, whether it's their outfit, what they were talking about, their energy. People love compliments. So you are literally showing genuine interest by giving them a compliment. People love that, especially women. And the other thing I want to say is also your body language, okay? Are you constantly close up to yourself? Are you more open up? Is your head held high? Is your shoulder all the way back? Are you constantly playing with your finger? Is your arm crossed like this? No, you want to have an open and nice posture. So you are more inviting to conversation, okay? So that goes and all fall into the same category of showing genuine interest, okay? The third tip is really important, is the mindset. So often we go to a networking event with our own issue, our own thoughts, our own worries. We're so self-centered on it that we constantly trying to go with the intention, okay, I'm going to this event. Hopefully I'm going to meet XYZ so they can help me with this problem that I'm dealing with. And what does that do to our brains? That we're thinking, okay, I'm going to get this instant result. I'm going to this event is for me to have this problem fixed by today, or that meeting the person is going to help me fix that instantly. But the problem is you will get disappointed big time. That does not mean that you cannot get instant result or meet someone who's going to help you solve certain problems that you're dealing with. But it's not the general rule. Most of the time, the people that you're meeting, that circle you're building, is for the long term. You have no idea what your life's gonna look like 2 months, 6 months, a year to 2 years from now. What your life's gonna be like. Maybe the moment that you needed help for that XYZ problem, that person that you really like, you brush them off, but who knew? This person was probably not the person to help you with that problem, but maybe 2 years from now, 3 years from now, this person's gonna be the key to open doors for you or to help you pivot your life or transform your life. But because you were too self-centered, too focused on, oh my God, this person, I like them, I like her or him, but he's not helping me with the problem I'm currently facing right now. So I'm gonna brush them to the side. By doing that, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I'm telling you, because you have no idea. They probably know somebody, or maybe they probably have somebody in their circle that can help you, or maybe not just you. Sometimes you have to think it's not always about you. Probably you have a sibling, a partner, a best friend, a friend, or someone that you know that probably needs help, looking for partnership, collaboration, or whatever that is. Probably the person that you met at this event is going to be the door for them to get there. Because remember, we are not alone on this earth. You have to think bigger. It's bigger than just you. And when you only focus on the instant problem, people are gonna start saying that, oh my God, this person didn't really like me like that. By you not getting the result that you want from this person, you have no other choice but to genuinely be interested in them, getting to know them for who they are. And this is gonna pay off big time in the long run. Because again, I keep saying that you don't know who they know. You do not know who they know, and they don't know who you know either. And I'm telling you also, it's not just for you, it's also for all the people around you. Like your friends have other friends and know other people in their circle that can help you. I have a friend of mine, she has a family member who has access to tickets to go to a basketball game. If we're going together, she's gonna introduce me and we're gonna get free tickets or front seat because we know this person, but that's not the person that I know. That's the person that she knows. But because she knows them and I know her, now we all know each other. You get what I mean? You have to think that the bigger perks, the bigger opportunities are to come later on, but you're never gonna know if you brush off everyone that cannot help you right now. That's it. That's really what I want you to think of, because I see it all the time. And also you can get very disappointed if you think constantly about, oh my God, hopefully I'm gonna meet that one person who's gonna help me with this partnership or do a collaboration or finding this new job. It's gonna cause a lot of frustration. You do not want that. So go with the long term. You can only win with this type of mindset. It's like harvesting. You don't plant the seed and have the harvest on the same day, right? It takes time. So let time do its thing. Let it grow. Let your network build over time. Give yourself time. All right? I remember also a celebrity saying that, I think it's Lady Gaga, and she said that all it takes is one person. If you have one thing to remember of this video or this podcast, this episode, is all it takes is one person. One to transform your life. One person to help you pivot. One person. One. So always keep that in mind. You do not know who they know. All right? So that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that you were able to follow through, that didn't go too fast. Hopefully you stick around for the next one, because like I said, I'm going to do a series on it, probably a 3-part series where I'm going to give more tips, because I'm going on this journey with you guys, okay? Oh, and I forgot to say, if you're on YouTube, please comment and subscribe. If you have other tips to share, you do not know who you might help. So please don't be shy. Go in the comments and share your tips, okay? Stay tuned, and I hope to see you. You're doing great. Don't give up, okay? Bye. Like anything in life, everything comes to an end. Yeah, girl. This concludes today's episode. Again, thank you so much for listening. And remember, you got this. See you on the next one. Bye.